one of the most underrated skills for learning Chinese, for learning any language, really. And that's the skill of being able to be comfortable or okay with not understanding. This was a huge barrier for me. And something that once I crossed this barrier, this challenge, I was able to open up my opportunities and my ability, my speed of learning drastically. So there's a lot of, conventional wisdom for good reason that, you should stick to learning to material that is pretty comprehensible. So, like 75, 85, 90, 95% comprehension is, the target. I+1, that's what Stephen Krashen says. And I don't totally disagree with this. For a lot of people, that's going to work. And for me, that worked for a long time. The issue is that, it's kind of twofold. One is that for me personally, and I suspect for a lot of people too, this can sometimes get a little bit boring and slow. And especially if you're like me, you want to move fast. You want to feel like you're making a lot of progress. When you're listening to comprehension levels around 90%, you're not learning too quickly. You're going at a comfortable pace. Me, I want to push myself. I want to challenge myself. So that's reason number one. The other thing is that it just doesn't really reflect the real world. So when we're talking about graded material, that's high level of comprehension, introducing new words here and there. But the real world doesn't really reflect that. When I moved to Taiwan, people are not, the locals here, they're not talking to you at a graded level. When you go to a restaurant, you read the menu, you look at the signs, they're not going to be graded to your level, to HSK1 or to HSK2, right? It's a native level. And so this is something that you're going to constantly run into, even speaking to language exchanges, speaking to teachers even. And this is actually a great thing, being able to confront and deal with not understanding is not only inevitable, it's actually really important. And I would say it's actually very beneficial. So like I said, when I came to Taiwan, a lot of things I didn't understand, but I knew instantly that this little thing of being able to be comfortable with not understanding was going to drastically improve my Chinese. I just sensed that. And I knew just from interacting with people, not understanding, initially it's kind of scary, it's daunting, you feel like you don't know a lot, but you realize after a while of going through this that this is really what's going to push you and this is what's going to motivate you. It can be daunting, like I said. It can be, if you're going through a lot of it and you're not understanding anything at all, plus if you have the expectation that you should understand everything, then that's a bad combination, right? But I think if you go into it not understanding with the expectation that you're not going to understand it right away, it's going to take time, consistent effort, repetitions. If you continue to do it, repeat it slowly at your own pace, look up words here and there, then it's going to drastically challenge you and it's going to drastically supercharge your learning. That's what it did for me. So for example, when I came to Taiwan and I went to the language school here and I wanted to choose a teacher, I tried different teachers here, but I specifically picked one that didn't speak English and spoke a lot of Chinese. So all Chinese, but also she was very talkative. This is another topic I can talk about, how to pick a good teacher. But anyways, the point here is that you want to limit your English. You want to be challenging yourself to listen to Chinese as much as possible, even if you don't understand. So with a teacher, same thing. You want to be listening to Chinese, listening to Mandarin as much as possible. And that's what I did. And even a week of that, 2 weeks of that, I can immediately sense that this was improving my listening comprehension to real Chinese, not to like broken Chinese, half Chinese, Chinglish. The importance is that you're challenging yourself with material that is very difficult. You don't understand it, but you're okay. You're not hard on yourself. You have the expectation that this is not, you don't have the expectation that you have to understand this. This is the most important point. And so I did that, when I went to the traditional markets and I would talk to the locals there. A lot of times I didn't understand what they were saying. When I went to the restaurants here, the mom and pop shops that are everywhere, great place to practice. Talk to the aunties. And there was one auntie that I've mentioned on this channel who talked to me a lot, and we would talk for hours after she finished up. And a lot of times I didn't understand what she was saying. A lot of times. And I would ask her here and there, interject, but with the sense, I want to keep the conversation going. I want to keep the flow of the conversation. I don't want to be asking her every word, what does this mean? What does this mean? At the same time, I have to realize, I have to sense, I have to have that social acuity to know that this is a conversation. She wants something out of this. She's doing this. She's conversing with me because she obviously finds value in it. She's meeting a person from a different country. But also, I don't want to be using the conversation in a way to only serve my purposes to learn Chinese. This is a conversation where we want to enjoy it. And so I can't be asking her. She's not my teacher, right? I'm not paying her. It's not her job to teach me. She enjoys it maybe, but I don't want to be asking her, every time, what word is this? What is she saying? But once in a while, without breaking the flow of the conversation, if I feel like it's an important word, then I'll ask. And this is the important thing. So a lot of that I didn't understand, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But you're going to build that sense, that acuity, that awareness of when to be okay with it and when to ask. And that comes with practice. That comes with exposure to the language. And that's why it's so important. That's why I always recommend trying to expose yourself to the real language, trying to have an interaction, not only just to speak. Interactions, conversations are not just for the benefit of speaking. There's so much more. Listening is a huge part. When I first had conversations, I was listening like 90, 95%, even 99% of the time. The 1%, 5% of the time, I'd just be interjecting to affirm what they were saying, to nod my head, to continue with the flow of the conversation. And so most of the time, especially when you're starting, conversations are not about speaking, it's about listening. I did the same thing when I started listening to podcasts. I didn't understand much at all, probably 1%, 5%. I started listening to native podcasts, but it was just so fun. It was cool. It was like I was eavesdropping into a different culture. And so I kept listening, and I didn't understand much at all. But that was fine because I didn't expect to. I think a lot of people get frustrated or they feel that it's daunting because they feel like they need to understand everything, but you don't need to. And so with consistent practice over a long enough time horizon, if you're just listening, putting in the practice, slowly looking up words, not expecting too much, you're going to build a lot of fluency. You're going to build a lot of vocabulary over that time period. And so this is why I highly recommend building the skill. It's so easy. It's not even a skill you really need to, it's an awareness. It's a reminder to yourself that you don't need to understand everything, and then you can be okay with it and just continue. It's counterintuitive because we feel, and it makes sense because in school, what they've taught us is usually, you go from one step to the next, to the next, to the next, and slowly build up. And, you slowly build up on what you know to expand. It's a great way to do it if you have a lot of time, you have a lot of patience, and you have a great teacher. But if you want to really move faster, if you want to start using and practically applying the language in the real world, then you have to expose yourself to the real world. Then you have to, in a way, jump into the deep end with a life vest, because you're not going to die. You're not going to get hurt. You're just going to feel a little bit embarrassed, maybe, but you don't even need to, because you don't have to. There's no expectation that you need to know everything. And this is why I always, whenever I interact in the real world, I always preface by saying, 不好意思，我的中文不太好. Like, my Chinese is not that great. I've talked about this phrase all the time. Like, it serves so many functions. It's such a great preface. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Just want to let everyone know, remind everyone, and really, just put it out there that this is a pretty underrated skill, because, in fact, this was sort of like my North Star. If I didn't understand something, then I knew I was in the right direction. If I understood something like completely, and it was like completely in my realm, even 90% in my comprehension, like, it was a little bit too easy. Like, I was moving a little bit too slow. But if something was completely out on left field, I didn't understand it much, the accent was off, it was weird, I wasn't familiar with it, then I knew, I need to focus on this more, because this is where I'm going to grow. This is where I'm going to challenge myself in it. So I actively seeked those opportunities. And I would encourage you to try that too. Listening to things that are high comprehension, it's good. It's great. It's very traditional. It's very safe and comfortable way to learn. But if you want to really push yourself and learn at a fast pace and expose yourself to real world situations and apply your language, Chinese, then try to be more comfortable not understanding and stick with it. And I think you'll be quite surprised by the results that you'll see. Anyway, so if you like this, let me know. If you like this style, it's more laid back, more casual, less editing. And by doing this, I can hopefully do more of these. But if you have any comments, any topics that you'd like me to discuss, any questions, just let me know in the comment section below. I'll talk about it. Love sharing my Chinese learning experience. Yeah. See you guys next time.